All right, Mick Francis, another fight week, another Jai Opetaia win. What were your thoughts on his performance tonight?
Yeah, like I thought it was a good performance. The guy came forward and he tried to bully Jai, and the way he was fighting, I was actually worried a few times in there, not for Jai's safety because of his ability, but the way he was coming in low and sort of driving his head up into Jai's jaw. Like Jai's got as we know, he's got a lot of fights coming ahead. We're trying to do the Ramirez fight. Like that's bigger fishes to fry. The whole reason we did this fight for Jai is it's a profile sort of building exercise, a keep busy sort of exercise because we've been promised fights in the past and then they haven't come off. So it's just the whole thing about keeping him busy and keeping him focused. And I've always said this week, and I've said it all the time, the biggest killer of these guys at this level is inactivity, and we try and keep our guys as busy as we can. And like the Gold Coast, it's a great place. He wants to fight in front of his family, friends. So that's why we do it. But unfortunately, we need to get on the road and we need to call out Zurdo, and he won't come to us. So hopefully we're going to jump on a plane and head over to the US and hopefully start rattling the cage.
Do you see that fight being next? What needs to happen? What's the hold up here?
Well, when you think about what Jai's done to a lot of his opponents, he's retired them, and Zurdo's running around. There's a lot of good fights out there for him, and he's in the US. He's a golden boy fighter. There's opportunities in the US where he can keep fighting and keep making reasonably good money for another couple of years. He is in his 30s. So what's holding things up is the fact that he doesn't want to end his career at the hands of Jai Opetaia. When you talk about everyone needs a payday and everyone's got a number, well, he can continue to fight for another 12 months, 2 years, and make a good steady income stream. Where Jai will get a payday, but it'll be career ending, and that's the issue. So, and I get it from their end, I do get it, but this is the sport they've chosen, so they should get in the ring and they should fight.
What do you make of Jai? He was a bit more open this week, a bit more relaxed. What do you made of his evolution these past few years? He seems more comfortable around the media as well.
Yeah, he is, and he's growing. He's grown as a person. He's grown as a fighter over the last couple of years. He was pretty relaxed this week because obviously he was around his family and he was comfortable with the opponent. And we have been promised this week that we will make that Zurdo fight in October through Spencer. So he has been quite relaxed, but he doesn't. He still trains very, very hard. He still doesn't take his opponents lightly, and he's done the work. So he's relaxed with the cameras and around his family and around the Gold Coast at the moment, but he's still doing the hard work.
Justis Huni, a devastating result for him this morning, but you must be proud firstly of his performance, but what happens from here? Any protests or things of that nature?
Look, protests go nowhere. It's just everyone was disappointed. I probably shot from the hip, and my first initial reaction because the count did seem pretty fast. I was a little bit disappointed the way the fight finished, and he wasn't given the opportunity to show that he was still healthy. I thought he was still healthy. I know he got stunned. I think it was more of a stun. He wasn't like he's been getting wobbled all over the place. He hardly got hit during the fight. It was a clinic. He won out of those first 9 rounds. He won 8 out of the 9. So I thought he was way ahead in the scoreboard, and he should have been given the opportunity to prove that he was fit because it was so close towards the back end of the fight. Like if it was 3 or 4 rounds in, maybe give it to him because he can't keep carrying that. But it was middleweight through that 10th round. He would have had time to recover. He goes into the championship rounds, who knows what happens. Like you got to remember too, the way Justis fights, it's death by 1,000 cuts. And it takes time to wear his opponents down. He was wearing his opponent down. It was just one of those things. It's heavyweight boxing. But he'll come back bigger and better. He'll get healthy. He went into that fight with a couple of injuries. We don't want to use that as an excuse because all fighters fight with injuries. We get that. But he'll learn from that. He'll come back stronger. He'll get his injuries fixed. He'll have a bit of a holiday now. He's got money in the bank finally because he's been doing this for a long time. And this is the first time he's had a real payday, like a serious payday. So life's going to be good for him in the next couple of months.
Last one, when can we expect to see some Tasman shows coming up? Jai Opetaia, Justis Huni and some of the other guys as well.
Well, hopefully that with Connor Wallace, and Connor fought quite well tonight. I got a bit scared in that last round. He's always in for a tough fight, Connor, and I wish he'd be a bit smarter and boxes a bit better, but he is number 2 with the IBF right now. The IBF just had their convention on last week, and I've just got the news yesterday from Ben Kelty that the IBF are going to introduce the interim title now. So, and they've never had it's always been the Intercontinental title was the second highest belt. Now they're going to introduce an interim title like the other 3 sanctioning bodies. So, if that's the case, we'll get the opportunity to fight for that interim title, and we'll hopefully bring that to Australia. It'll be, I hear it's going to be called in the next week or 2. So if that's the case, we'll obviously try and win that purse bid or try and negotiate a figure that we can make that fight happen in this part of the world, because Connor deserves it. He's done the hard work, and he's now 16-1, so he deserves to bring an interim world title to this part of the world and in front of his fans, because he's got plenty of fans out there.
Nice one, mate. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Thanks for coming.